Good evening. This is Meg. Thank you for joining Magical Mind by Meg. I'm going to clear the space, so it's time to just clear the space. First, I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much for joining. And if you're back if you've listened to some other of my videos and you are returning, thank you. Thank you so much for returning. I really, really, really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed and you're returning, please hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the content here and want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you again. And I'm just going to clear with a bell, but if you have some sensitivity, cover your ears. My little fishy bell. So I am back with the Blessed Mother. She's been here with me before. And I think I told you that I inherited her from my childhood home. And she's quite beautiful. And I cleaned her up a little bit because she's very old, and the statue of her is very old, and it is white ivory, I believe. And anyway, so I wanted to be careful, so I just used, soap and water. I can see where it's clean, but I do need to do some more work with maybe a Q-tip. I want to be very gentle with her. I don't even know how old it is. I mean, I know my parents had it, and one of their parents may have had it as well, because I know they had some stuff from that they had inherited, and I don't really know the story behind the statue. But I remember growing up, eventually she got put in the closet, because a lot of people had statues of like Mary and Jesus growing up. I don't know, eventually one of my sisters may have put her in the closet, but eventually, unfortunately, she got put in the closet. So I grabbed her. Then she got taken out again when my mom had become, confined more so to the upstairs. And so we pulled out some of her old statues of Mary, because she really, really connected with the Blessed Mother. And so we had sort of like a round table, and we had stuff out, and we went around with numbers, and each took something. So I had taken Mary. I just moved her, and I got her in front of the cross a little bit, so let me just move her back. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to be able to grab her. And she is here with me tonight to talk to you about love. I've had the love out for a while. This actually usually hangs in another room, but I saw it the other day hanging, and I said, oh, I have to bring that out because we're going to have to talk about love, or see if it comes up in a reading. And, Jesus loves us, Mary loves us. There are all forms of love. There's romantic love, there's partnership love, there's sibling love, the love of a parent, the love of a child, the love of a friend, the love of music, the love of mankind, the idea of love, poetry, love, 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 love. So love is all around us if we look for it. If we want love, they say we can attract it and bring it into our lives by surrounding ourselves or thinking love, being in love, being in a place of love. So, so love can be, now as I'm looking at this and I'm talking to you, It has the arrows in both directions, kind of splitting love. And at first it's daunting. It looks confusing, but it sort of now is reminding me that love, it looked confusing when I thought of it as romantic love, like, oh, oh, this is chaotic. However, we are surrounded by love in various forms, And now it's really depicting that to me more so. And I think it appealed to me in that manner when I first found it quite a while ago. I think that was probably about a decade ago that I picked that up. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you in the reading. So I had a short before. I had been coming inside, I was outside for a while doing some grounding, and then I came in and I stopped under my favorite tree, which I'm very fortunate to have, and I looked down this view that I have, and the wind was blowing, and I sort of made a clip like, what is the wind telling you? And then I came inside and I checked my YouTube channel for, not my channel, but I checked YouTube for a notification, for my notifications, and I saw that a comment I had posted on a song a while ago, quite a while ago, maybe a month or two ago, someone liked my comment. And then I said, oh, let me listen to that song. And then I was listening to the song, and it's a long song. It's a 10-minute long song, or 9 minutes, I think. And towards the end, this one lyric kept playing over and over and over, and I'll sing it for you. But the song helped me get through some heartbreak that had been lingering on for quite some time. Someone that I really deeply loved, and we just, maybe it was the wrong time, maybe it served its purpose, maybe it was the one that got away, maybe it was a twin flame, maybe it was whatever it was, but it is not now. And I don't know if you have someone that you may have even walked away, because I did walk away from this relationship, but only because I had to stand up for myself, and I had to, it was keeping me in limbo, and it wasn't really progressing, and so I had to, in order to save myself, in fact, I had to leave it. I mean, Spirit kept telling me I had to leave, even though I really, really, really loved this person. So I did, in the hopes that they would, maybe come back someday. But they hadn't, right? So they never did. So it was a long time ago. But it's one of those things that kept just coming back in my memory here and there. So anyway, I came across this song, and it's a well-known artist, but it's one of the songs that I think she has. So it's Taylor Swift. And of course, she's like the most, well-known artist right now. And I knew her songs when she started out, because my daughter and her friends listened to her and really liked her. So kind of watched her grow up, and I heard her songs that played on the radio and stuff like that. And then I started listening to some more songs here and there, really liking it. And then her concert was like a big deal, and then the movie came out. And I went with my daughter and her friends to the movie, and in the movie theater, and it was really phenomenal. Whatever you think of her, she's extremely talented. And if you don't think she is, then you clearly have not really listened to a lot of her stuff. But she really, really is very talented. And she's a poet, and she puts her poetry to music, and she learned how to play guitar, and she plays piano, and she's really, really talented. Anyway, polarizing, I understand, but very talented. So I came across this song after the movie, and apparently she never had released it, and she was on a talk show, and because there's thousands of clips on Taylor Swift, so they would come up in my feed then after that, and I was watching them, and anyway, so she had mentioned in an interview that she had written a longer version of the song All Too Well. And so her fans immediately were like, oh, we must hear it. We have to hear it. We have to hear it. And so then she released it in like 2014. So I only found it a couple of months ago. And I listened to it, and it's a lot to unpack. I mean, you have to really listen to it over and over and over again. So it's called like the long version, I think. All Too Well, the long version. Taylor's version, but I think the long version is Taylor's version. So anyway, there's a lyric in the song really healed me. After almost 2 decades, okay, of almost of I moved on, and I accomplished a lot, but like I said, this always came back to mind, this person, and I always missed this person because I really loved them, and I wish it had worked out differently, but I just couldn't wait around, and I couldn't progress in the state at which it was in. It wasn't moving forward at all. It was just stuck, and there are many things in the song that remind me of that and other relationships as well. There are aspects to the songs, parts of lyrics that remind me of other relationships and things that hurt. So anyway, I found this song to be really healing for me. And I would listen to it. I decided, first I made sure I learned all the lyrics so I could sing it, which took a long time because it's a really long song with a lot of lyrics. And the syncopation in the song, is hard to learn. But I did. And then I would play it every day, and I would sing it, and I'd cry, and I'd play it every day, and I'd sing it and I'd cry. And eventually, I felt really a lot better, so much better. And eventually I could sing through certain lyrics that I couldn't without crying, and I learned it, and eventually I felt better, and I don't play it every day anymore. So anyway, so I came in from outside, and someone had liked a comment that I had on there, so that had wind in there as well. So I'm going to sing that part for you in a second. And then the other song was Wind Beneath Thy Wings, because as I was preparing this, and I was thinking of they were like, what is the wind telling me? What is the wind telling me? What was the wind telling me? And Wind Beneath My Wings came up, which I've always, of course, really loved that song. That's by Bette Midler. And all right, so again, I apologize if you don't enjoy my singing, or if you're just joining my channel and you hear it and you don't enjoy it, and I apologize, but Spirit does want me to sing, and so I have to follow what Spirit says. I'm going to do my best, and thank you so much for being patient with me. So, Wind Beneath My Wings. Thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings. I know that wasn't the right key. I couldn't find it. I haven't listened to that song in a long time. And I didn't prepare. It's just right off the cuff here. So that's it. So All Too Well should be better because I do hear it. And I did listen to it after they liked my comment. So my comment was just that this lyric, this one lyric wrecks me. And then but it doesn't have wind or air in it. It has wind. So I'll give you the one with wind in it. So for All Too Well, the lyric is, wind in my hair, I was there. I remember it all too well. The lyric that wrecks me is maybe I asked for too much, or maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you blew it all up. Running scared, I was there. I remember it all too well. I think it's tore up. I said blew up, but that's it. That one wrecks me. There's a word before that I just couldn't come to mind, but I sang what I could with that. Then the last one that came to mind, this song has been popping up a lot because I've been listening to the Carpenters a lot. I grew up, I was a very young child when the Carpenters were popular, and I used to sing all the time. I loved to sing, I told you that, and I always thought I would sing. And Karen Carpenter was probably the biggest influence at that age for me, through my young age for me. So let's just see. Okay, this was it. So the question was, what is the wind telling you? And here, this lyric has been popping in. And I actually sang this song at a kindergarten play like years ago. And then I sang it, I auditioned to sing the national anthem at a local baseball game. It's a ballpark, but it's like an A-League park. I didn't get it, of course, but I don't know why I picked this song. But you weren't allowed to sing the national anthem. You had to pick a song, and I liked it, and I thought it showed a vocal range, but that was like really silly. And so anyway, this is it. Top of the World. And the lyric is, something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the brush of the breeze, there's a place and sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Anyway, that's it. I love Karen Carpenter. And I think many people think she had like the most beautiful voice. And her brother wrote like all those songs, and I always wish I could play the drums. And I only found out a few years ago that she actually started as a drummer. And some people think that she's like the greatest drummer of all time, in fact. But they wanted her in front. She started out in playing the drums and singing those songs. And then because she was a female and people wanted to see her more, they were like, oh, you have to be in front. And so they made her come out front, which she never really felt comfortable with. So God rest her soul, Karen Carpenter. So then I started to channel a little bit. And I thought to myself, I want to ask them, is someone out there feeling the love for somebody else? Like you are just like on the top of the world for someone else, that you are just so happy. I'm so glad it ended with that song too, because as much as I love Taylor, that's That's a sad song, but it was very cathartic for me. It healed me. Wind Beneath My Wings, of course, you know, that is like it's from the movie Beaches, so I think of like a loved one that had passed on. I was talking about my father, or posting about my father on one of the social media platforms earlier today, and I was reminded of him. And I was also helping with a fundraiser for a young gal in town that unfortunately had been murdered a couple of months ago. And so we're trying to plant rose bushes in her honor to heal the ground, first of all, and so that her family can see these beautiful rose bushes. She loved flowers, and we're turning this horrific event into something beautiful. And I advise you to do the same if something like that has occurred in your life or to one of your loved ones. Turn it into something beautiful and heal the land, because when there's bloodshed, we got to heal the land, okay? So if you live in an area where there's been wars and bloodshed, try and heal that land. When you're grounding, think of the love. Love. Pour your love into the ground, and the ground will pour its love into you. Okay? And this is really normal stuff, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, walking around barefoot or touching trees, climbing a tree, hanging in a tree, laying in the grass. I sat in the grass today because it felt really good. All right? So anyway, back to top of the world. Someone is making you feel like you are on top of the world, or you are making somebody else feel like they're on top of the world. And that is a beautiful thing, my friends, because you're spreading the love. And even if you don't love them romantically, it feels good that someone loves you, and you can love them as a friend, or you could just love them, in your mind. But if it's romantic love and you want romantic love and you're ready and it's up and up, and it's not, as long as it's respectable and you're not, breaking somebody else's heart to have it, go for it. They're thinking of you. Either way, you're sparking a flame in someone, or they are for you. You are walking on air. You're making them feel like they're flying on air. Or you are the wind beneath someone's wings, and you are helping them get through their day. You are their support system, and know that they love you. And with all too well, know that somebody really, really, really loved you, and they remember you all too well. And you made them cry, and they're still healing, and hopefully they'll heal. And if you're still healing from someone who broke your heart, then I hope that this message reaches you, and you shall be healed. Let's hear it. Sorry, that bell is kind of lame, but I love it. It broke and I had to fix it. It was hanging on one of my doorways. So I'm going to pull a quick Moonology card for you. See what we got here. I shuffled them before, so I'll just do one shuffle. And what are we going to get? Don't let your past hold you back. I do that a lot. I'm not from Pennsylvania, but it sounds like I am. Don't let the past hold you back. Anyway, don't let your past hold you back. South Node. That looks pretty good. Where should we put her? By the Blessed Mother. Blessed Mother, thank you. Spirits, be with us. What message do you have for us in this card? Just so you know, I am like really highly protected. So if you are planning any funny business, good luck, because I am so highly protected. You will have a very difficult time. And Spirit had me start this channel. So good luck. Anyway, so don't let your past hold you back. So I was talking about the past with that Taylor Swift song, and I am finally through it, and it was cathartic. And you have to go into it with that mindset, not the, oh, let me use this as my crutch. No, I knew it was going to be a certain amount of time that I would need the song to get me through. And I knew when I stopped crying and I got through it without crying, that I was healed. Now, I'm not saying that eventually he won't creep in my mind. Of course he will, but I feel a lot better about it. And it answered questions because I wasn't really sure, you know, you sit around waiting for someone. Not that I sat around waiting for him, but it doesn't matter anymore. It mattered before, whether or not he came back now. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but I just can't, he has to come back on his own. And I did reach out to him once. We didn't speak or anything, and we were supposed to meet, and he just played games, and so I just blocked him. So, he would have to physically knock on my door. He knows where I am. But I just need to move on. And he probably wouldn't like me doing this channel. He probably would have been like, it's just weird. But, I listen to Spirit, so sorry, buddy. Anyway, here we go. Don't let your past hold you back. So the South Node, like the North Node, is a karmic point. But it's opposite to the North Node, and it relates to the past. Okay? Sort of does look like looking in the past. It can even relate to past lives. So, I talked about that person. I wasn't sure if they were my twin flame or not. And I used to listen to a lot of twin flame readings. And it really made sense. But then all of a sudden it exploded, and it just got so out of control. And I couldn't take it anymore. And so I just said, well, I'm just going to continue my work. I listened to Fiery Grace. I don't know if you listen to her, but I love her. Shout out to Fiery Grace. She's the one I had a reading with last week, too. And anyway, but a while ago, I listened to Fiery Grace, and something she said made me realize, like, just continue on your path and just, do your thing and don't worry about it, and I just say, I always believe it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So anyway, let's get back to this. So whatever you're going through and whatever you're asking about, there's a chance that age-old programming and conditioning is stopping you from achieving all that you might. Do you feel stuck in something? This card will often come as a sign that the situation or relationship you're asking about has somehow become suffocating or even toxic. Even toxic. It suggests that someone, it could even be you, needs to be released. That there's some kind of addiction going on or an unhealthy attachment that needs to be sorted out. One thing is for sure, when you get this card, you're being challenged to make some changes, even if staying where you are feels easier and safe. Whoa, that's a lot. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay. Big change is coming. Because you know what? So this is giving you and me, it's giving us an opportunity to make those changes. Because sometimes if we don't and it's needed and Spirit really wants to, then that's when we get those tower moments. So it's always best to try and look at it and make the appropriate changes if at all possible. So how do we attune to the moon? Because don't forget, this is Moonology. And so this message comes to us, and how do we attune to the moon in order to enact what this is telling us to enact? Well, we say to the moon, I release the past. I release the past. I release the past. Comment. Comment, I release the past if you release the past. Are you ready to release the past? I'm writing it down here on my notebook. I release the past. Okay? I release the past. Comment if you release the past. Comment to the moon. Say, I release the past. So there's some additional meanings for the card. A relationship is karmic and has played out across many lifetimes. I guess that's the answer to my question about this relationship. It's karmic and it's played out many lifetimes. And that's probably why I cannot forget this person. So this is great. How about you? Was the person you were thinking of when the wind was blowing, or when I was singing, or when I was talking to you here? That person's your karmic, maybe. You'll know. If you've questioned it, this is your answer. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Oof, that's another one. Your attraction to someone may be verging on the obsessive. Okay, that doesn't apply to me, but maybe when I was in the relationship it was a little bit, maybe. I just loved him so much, and I could see this beautiful future. But sometimes it's really hard to communicate that to somebody if they don't see it themselves, So if this is you, just take a step back, because your attraction might be coming just a little bit too obsessive. That top of the world, looking down at creation. So that might be a little obsessive. So, okay. And you might think me listening to that song every day made me too obsessive. But after almost 2 decades of just not being able to move past this person in your heart. I don't mean in my mind. My mind I was able to move past. It was my heart, it seemed. I think. Maybe it was my head, I don't know. Look, I bought that, so what do you expect? Anyway, just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you should. So, just because you can call that person and reach out. I didn't reach out to that guy for years. But then one day I said to myself, I need to know if I still love him, and I just wanted to look him in the eyes. I didn't want to get back together with him. I don't know what he's like. I don't want to get back together with the old person. But if he had evolved and changed, but I wanted closure. That was really that was the reason why I wanted to meet up with him, and I contacted him. And then of course, the thought of it, I hadn't seen him or even heard his voice in so many years. I got excited thinking of, the old relationship and how much I loved him, but that doesn't mean when I met him that I would have felt that love. I can be kind of, I'm very discerning. And so, you know, particularly now, I'm looking for someone who's within the same vibration, or at least wants to be, at least, strives to be. And they might not call it vibration, they might call it something else, or, it's just a behavior and a mindset that I'm looking for. And he didn't have that, is kind of why I walked away. So anyway, so the teaching from the South Node is the South Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going south. On the horoscope chart, it shows us what we are likely to become obsessed with, but which will probably do us little or no good. The South Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us of the well-known phrase, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Wow. Yeah. So if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. Yeah. Yep. So see, there's no sense in me reaching out to him because, well, and last time he reached out, there's no sense in me even barking up that tree anymore, honestly. For me, I feel like this is a confirmation that my relationship was karmic. I don't know about you. I mean, your story is your story. So, all right, let's just do a quick starry beginnings, and then I have to get moving along because I have actually my choir rehearsal tonight. So I have to go sing for God, practice my songs. We have 2 deacons being ordained this weekend, and so it's special. And we have some special songs, and I have extra mass I have to attend and sing. So I want to do my best, and I parched, and actually I should be saving my voice for rehearsal, but I like talking to you guys, and I'm trying to get better at doing these cards on film, because I usually just pull them from my friends or me. But you're my friends now. I've always wanted to expand who I reach, who I can do it for. And I'll get better and better, so don't you worry. So this was a deck I bought myself, last year or something, a few months ago maybe. Starry Beginnings, Guided Messages from the Stars, Oracle card book and guidebook, of course. It's really pretty. I didn't show you the Moonology one too close because I know a lot of people have that, but the Seek Guidance from the Stars, beautiful galactic images and divinely channeled messages for lovers of oracle cards and tarot cards. So let's see. I had pulled one for you the other night. Oh, I guess I have to do it again because all right, we'll just do it this way. All right. Feel and release. Release all you've accumulated on this journey. Release all you've accumulated on this journey. Wow. So it's really pretty. See it? Oh, isn't that pretty? What does that look like to you? Of course I say a cross because it does cross, but then I also see like a firefly or a butterfly. Of course the cosmos, but if you look at it from like a blotter, what? What do you see? What do you see? Ooh. All right, let's put this one. Whoops. Put This one by our love card. Feel and release, feel and release, feel and release, feel and release. So feel those feelings. So whatever came to mind when I brought up those songs or I was singing the lyrics, whatever came to mind, I want you to feel it, and then I want you to release it. Feel it. Feel it. Take a deep breath. Exhale and release it. One more time. Take a deep breath. Exhale and release it. Okay. All right. Here it goes. It's on page 70, so the number 7 has been coming up for me. It used to be my favorite number years ago. Now my favorite number is 2, but 7 used to be my favorite number. And in the book, it's card number 37, or 10, or 1 in numerology. So, feel and release. Release all you've accumulated on this journey. The time is now to feel and release. Feel and release. Feel and release all that you have accumulated on this journey so far. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel and release. Feel and release. Feel and release. Everything that you've learned on this journey. Everything that you've accumulated. All that baggage. Release it. Everything you've accumulated on this journey is released. Feel it. Release it. To start anew, a fresh path, it is best when the past is left to free the way forward. None of what has happened has been wrong. Not for you, mistaken, or failure in any way. You are always on your path, and the path is not a straight line. It twists and curves, rises and falls. How else would you get to see such beautiful and varied landscapes and experiences? The truth is always love. Love is all there is. When we remember that to our core, we know we feel our way forward. Life is simpler, gentler, and more peaceful. When we allow Spirit, through the love for all, to guide us, you have made great progress. Realizing that you have done this, been a physical being on earth many times, experienced and enjoyed the experience of living. The pain is part of the experience. The pain of loss, for that is what pain is, loss. Yet nothing is truly lost. It just changes form. All that you have loved is still with you. This life is about gathering new experiences and learning new lessons. Wow, that's really great. So, release all you've accumulated, all your baggage, just release it, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, release it. This life is about gathering new experiences and learning new lessons. So I was advised to write down how I feel every day by Spirit. It came through a reading with Bronwyn's Cove. And I find I can hear myself when I do these readings. I can hear that I have a lot to say. There's a lot in there that has to come out. And that's kind of why I'm like, I can't take it anymore. And I've always felt like I've sort of had writer's block. So now I'm getting it out by telling you the stories, and I'm going to get it out by writing down how I feel every day. And then I can accumulate new experiences, and I won't be just living in my head. Because I was to the point where I felt like I was living in my head, and I had so many stories, and it was just so much. I have to tell my story. I have to tell my story. To get my story out. I have to get my story out. Well, journaling, and I know that, because of my, my educational training. Journaling is great. Journaling, it's a tried and true technique in, when you're counseling somebody, or if, someone is leaving an abusive home, they're going to a safe home, they get journals. I did a fundraiser once for a safe house, and I collected journals. That's what they asked me, instead of money, either money or journals, because they really needed them, because that was one thing they handed. Every person who went to the safe house got a journal so that they could journal how they felt at that moment and at each and every day. And it's very healing. So that's what I've been trying to do, and I think that this message is also telling you. So I think that you're out there and you are in pain, somebody, and you're thinking of somebody and your heart is broken, and just journal and get it out. Now, there's one additional message here, and it's, your heart is expanding as you evolve and rise up to new levels. Let the tears flow to heal the feelings of loss. To move forward, you must release and let go. Feel and breathe, then let go. That's exactly what I just told you. I hadn't read this before. Okay? Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel and release. Feel and release. Feel and release. Watch all of the feelings of loss float away on a gentle tide to the renewed, embraced by love. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Mary, Blessed Mother. Thank you, Spirit. Listen, thank you, God. I posted another video today, my lunchtime video, where I sat outside and I was talking about the clouds and sort of like teaching how to do sort of a meditative practice to clear your space, clear your mind, let go of the old. And I was talking about the clouds and watching them float away. And it's just really quite amazing, how these things come to fruition. And it rounds out my day to say that I need to write in my journal, and you do too. We need to. This is us. We're doing this together. We need to write in our journals. We need to breathe in and breathe out and release the things we have accumulated thus far. Okay? We need to heal ourselves, feel healed, sing our songs, feel the wind beneath our wings. And also let the wind come and take away those feelings through our breath. Our breath is tied to the wind. Our breath and the wind are one and the same. They are tied. We'll breathe in. We'll feel that feeling. And we'll release. And we'll watch it float away on our billowing white clouds. We will not let our past hold us back. We will release the past. They're both telling us that, to release the past. Don't let your past hold you back. Feel and release it with your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel it and release it. Send it up to God. Send it up to Spirit. Send it up to your higher being. This is your circle of love here. I love you. I will be thinking about you when I'm singing tonight. I'm going to be thinking about you. If you're a return visitor too, especially because you've put up with my singing so much, that I'm going to be thinking about you. And I'm going to think about you when we say a prayer at the end of the night. To all my viewers, to all that stuck it out, thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Good night.